Tonight, we bring you an exclusive in-studio interview with men's basketball sophomore guard Trey Norman.
Plus, Marquette Golf claims the Big East crown.
Thank you for joining us. Golden Eagle Sports Report starts right now.
Slam dunk! Oh, that's a poster.
Live from the Jeannie Hayes Virtual Studio at Marquette University, this is Golden Eagle Sports Report.
Marquette gets the rebound, and the champions have gone down.
Good evening, everyone. I'm London Davis, joined by Adrian Fraga. Adrian, let's get right into it.
Yep.
This week, our very own executive, Adrian Fraga, sat down with men's basketball sophomore guard Trey Norman to talk about everything from the transfer portal to what to expect from him next year.
Oh, and welcome to a GSR exclusive in-studio interview with sophomore guard of the men's basketball team, Trey Norman. Trey, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great. Can't complain. I'm excited to be here, talk to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking forward to it. So, right off the bat, the team is obviously coming off a tough loss against New Mexico in the first round of the tournament. And with that loss, three starting seniors and obviously 5 seniors are now graduating this year. And so it's only right to assume that Coach Shaka will make adjustments to the lineups, the rotations, and implementing new kind of, I guess, players that in the sense that he trusts. So what can we expect from your progression from this season to next season?
Man, a whole totally different level of confidence. Kind of like my emphasis on the court, kind of being a downhill bully, getting my shoulders square, getting to the basket, way better shooting, but overall just a real explosive jump from year 2 to year 3. And you can expect that from me and everybody returning.
Right now, obviously, previously mentioned, made it to the March Madness, but lost in the first round. Just walk me through the season experience for you and kind of what takeaways you have from the season to carry on into next season.
I mean, well, we started the first half of the season on fire. I think it was we was 15-2 by the time we got to January, and then we had hit some adversity with the 3 back-to-back losses. I mean, they all 3 good teams, 3 March Madness teams, but it was kind of hard to respond from that. But as far as takeaways, personally, I just learned that I can do it. I had glimpses that kind of just gave my self-confidence more than kind of me trying to show people something. And I have film to watch and fall back on, obviously things to get better on. But the biggest takeaway is just the belief in myself that I can do it at this level, even though it's the highest level. So.
Yeah. So what kind of an impact did the 3 starting seniors, Stevie Mitchell, Cam Jones, and David Joplin, what kind of impact did they leave on you as a player and person?
Well, all 3 of them impacted me differently. I'll just go off in order. Cam, he impacted me just being the leader he was. The jump that he made from his junior year to his senior year as far as maturity, it was crazy. With Tyler leaving, he knew that he had to step up and take that that authoritative role on our team, and he did that, and it was great to watch. And he's just a free spirit on the floor. You can see how he plays, and that's really inspiring. And that was one of the biggest things I've taken away from him and just being around him. At the end of the day, it's just basketball. You don't need to overthink it. You've been doing this your whole life, so that's probably the biggest thing, just being out there and being free. Stevie, just being a consistent guy. His energy, everybody talks about it, but the things he does day to day is consistent. You can literally expect that from him every day. His smile, his energy he's gonna give on the floor, defensively, he's gonna give that every single day. And then maybe the one time it might not be there because we're all human. You notice it. You notice it as soon as it's not there. So that's my biggest thing. Just I'm trying to be as consistent as he was in his own way. So I'm trying to apply that to myself as far as being a leader consistently, even when things aren't going my way or I'm not feeling the greatest, just making sure everybody around me knows I can still be the leader that I need to be. And for Job, man, just just having, kind of similar to Cam, just having fun with it. Like Job, there was times where he was caught up in other things, maybe in his head or just being frustrated. But like when Job was like present and clear and having fun, man, that's when you've seen like in the Bahamas, he had 30 when we played Georgia. Our last game, he had, I don't know how much he had. He had a lot though, maybe like 30 something. Like those moments of Job, that's how you know he's fully locked in, fully clear and lost in a fight. And I mean, if I can find a way to be that more times than I'm not, sky's the limit.
I mean, yeah, those three bled blue and gold for the team. I mean, you talk about a class like that, like just 3 pedestals on Marquette's all-time, like just greats list, basically. So in kind of going in a similar lens, the culture is obviously relationships, victories, and growth. I'm sure you've heard that so many times throughout your 2 years here so far. And Shaka is obviously very committed to that. And this is evident through the no use of the transfer portal. And it's a big topic of debate. How are your thoughts on the transfer portal? Like, the fact that Shaka doesn't instill excuse me. The fact that Shaka doesn't go into the transfer portal, rather, what kind of confidence does that instill in you and the rest of the team?
The most confidence, especially like how college is today. Like, man, schools are throwing ridiculous amount of money at kids, and just people are going here 1 year, here the next year. Like, there's guys that we played who've been at 6 schools in 6 years. Like, so it's crazy. The fact that he doesn't go in the transfer portal, and the fact that he believes in us, it's like all the confidence you need. Because it's like a lot of the returners, besides like Chase, is like we have stuff to prove. I mean, Chase has a lot to prove too. But like as far as like playing and being out there, like we all hungry. So the fact that he believes in us just makes us come together even more, and makes us work even harder when we're out there. Because it's like if it's not us, who is it then? And it's like we have his back, and the fact that he's going out his way to believe in us, there's probably people telling him going to transfer portal, probably people all in his ears telling him, oh, they can't do this, they can't do that. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's a business, and you know, coaches have a job they're trying to keep, and winning and losing impacts that. So shit, we gonna go out there and win as many games as we can, so we can back up all the belief that he gave us the past couple years.
So doubling down on that, do you believe that you guys have enough? Is this the team? How confident are you guys?
I believe it with everything in my soul. I feel like if everybody in the summer can make the jump we need to make, they going doubt us regardless, man. Like they already down us, and it's like I get it. We got 3 seniors leaving, 3 guys, Cam Jones, 2,000 point scorer, all of this and that. But I mean, they said the same shit last year. Like, sorry, excuse my language. They said the same thing when we lost TK also. Like, oh, who was gonna do this? And you saw people make jumps and step up, and this is gonna be the same thing, rinse and repeat.
So in the past 2 seasons that you've been on the team, what has Coach Shaka as a coach kind of instilled and I guess cemented into your guys?
That we got more than we think. Like, we have a lot more to give than we think, even when we think we've given everything. Like, that could be on the court, off the court. Like, you get tired, your legs start feeling weak, like, and you feel like I gave everything I got, like it's all I have. But there's always a little more that he pushes us to go. And over the past 2 years, I've just learned that the work capacity that I truly have is way more than I think, as long as I just don't limit myself to thinking what I gave was enough.
So far, what's been your favorite game of the year? Whether that's National Marquette Day, the Maui tournament last year.
Damn, that's a good question. It's a good question. It's a very good question. All right, I'll give you favorite game, like building up to it, that I've had in the past 2 years would probably be National Marquette Day for sure.
This year against UConn or last year?
Actually, I might say Wisconsin this year. Because this was the first game. This was the first time I played Wisconsin at Marquette, and it obviously was the first time we beat them. And that buildup was crazy because, like, internally, as far as like the team, we knew like last year we had them. It's just some things kind of didn't go our way. We kind of fell apart towards the end, and we weren't really scoring the way we needed to, and we just felt like we can really beat these guys. These guys aren't nothing special. Like, even though they had our number the past couple years, like this is the one. And the crowd that day was crazy. I know, like the press for the game was crazy, and it was a great day. I think the game was earlier in the day. The students were live, so that would probably be the best one of the past 2 years, and I played solid that game. Yeah.
All right, now, who in the locker room, I guess, would you say after a win is like the most hype, like the wildest, I guess you could say?
Probably Cam Jones.
Pretty safe answer.
Yeah, right? Probably Cam Jones. He always dancing. He's always going crazy, and he shows his passion all the time. But, I mean, after a hard-fought win, especially on a road game, everybody's on 10 because road games is hard. So, yeah, I'll say Cam, though, to be safe.
Well, I think that's all we have for you tonight. So, I mean, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Yeah, thank you, Marquette. A big thanks to Trey Norman for stopping by and talking with us.
Coming up next, how did the men's lacrosse team clinch a postseason berth?
Plus, our final edition of Weekly Awards.
Stick around for all that and more after the break.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Action.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab,
I knew
a
it.
car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Home fire drills give your family a plan of action. In a home fire, you may have less than 2 minutes to get out. So when you drill, show everyone 2 ways out of the house, pick a safe meeting spot, and get there in under 2 minutes. Then practice home fire drills at least twice a year. You can even make them fun. So everyone knows the sound and exactly what to do when they hear a smoke alarm. Go to ready.gov/fire drill and learn how to prepare your family for home fires.
Welcome back to Golden Eagle Sports Report. Once again, I'm London Davis.
And I'm Adrian Fraga. The women's lacrosse team travels to Eastern Michigan to play their last game of the regular season.
Sophomore midfielder Sarah Beth Burns put Marquette on the board with this opening goal.
And the Golden Eagles continue their attack early with senior attacker Meg Byerly booking it down the field and scoring in transition.
Barley doesn't stop her pursuit in the second quarter, scoring yet another goal.
Junior attacker Tess Osborne takes over in the second half with 2 absolute rockets down the middle of Middle Eastern Michigan's defense.
Later in the fourth quarter, senior attacker Hannah Botner slices the defense for yet another goal for Marquette to ice the game.
Marquette wins the game 18-14 and finds Eastern Michigan's regular season.
The Golden Eagles were led by Tess Osborne with 6 goals and Meg Byerly with 5.
And now with the win, Marquette finishes the regular season 10-6 and clinches the 4th seed in the Big East tournament.
Now heading over to the men's lacrosse team, Denver heads to Valley Fields to face off against the Golden Eagles with a Big East tournament berth on the line.
The Denver Pioneers come out steaming as they rally off 3 early goals to take a 3-0 lead.
Now, despite the early challenges, 2 goals from senior Nolan Rapis got the Golden Eagles flying high.
These 2 goals from the senior attacker sparks a 5-1 run and ends the first quarter.
Goals continue to pour in for the Golden Eagles left and right as sophomore Carson Brent finds the back of the net.
And now this fantastic flying goal by senior Will Foster sends the Golden Eagles into half with an 8-5 lead.
Multiple clutch saves from goalie Lucas Lawis helped the Golden Eagles to a 12-6 lead.
Late clinchers from Matt Caputo and Chandler Castor seals the deal as Marquette secures an 18-11 victory over the Pioneers.
This win means Marquette lacrosse will compete in their first Big East tournament since 2022. Yes, I repeat, 2022.
Now that's a long 3 years.
It is indeed. And after a fantastic weekend in South Carolina, Marquette men's golf crowned themselves as the official Big East championship.
The Golden Eagles were victorious by 11 strokes on the weekend as they claimed their 6th Big East championship in program history.
The Marquette guys shot 6 under on Monday to finish the event 17 under.
All 5 Marquette student athletes finished in the top 13 of overall standings. Headlined, of course, by Patrick Adler and Johan Wildall, who tied for 4th.
The NCAA Division I men's golf selection show airs live at noon Central Time on Wednesday, which will decide where the Golden Eagles will be competing next.
This weekend, Marquette Track and Field head to Des Moines, Iowa to compete in the Drake Relays.
Riley Ward and Tessa Hollander posted the 2nd and 3rd best throws in program history in the javelin on the final day of competition.
Ward's 14.33 meter throw was good for 2nd place on the weekend.
The Golden Eagles shuttle hurdle relay team of McKenna Kotoff, Julia Beck, Olivia Verdon, and Hannah McVeigh set a new program record time of 1 minute and 2.52 seconds.
The 4x200 relay team also posts a fantastic time of 1 minute and 20.99 seconds, which counts as the 10th fastest time in program history.
Finally, junior Cole Donahue finished the decathlon with 6,101 points, which was the 9th best performance in program history.
After a successful weekend in Iowa, the Marquette University track and field team looks ahead to the Badger Invitational in Madison this Friday.
And now, for one last time this year, we highlight our Marquette Weekly Award winners. Starting off with our team of the week, we have the men's golf team. They win the Big East tournament for the 6th time. As a team, they went 17 under, 847. Now, moving on to our MVP of the week, we have goalie Lucas Lawis of the men's lacrosse team. Lawis saves 12 shots and leads Marquette to a Big East championship semifinals appearance. The goalie also won Big East Defensive Player of the Week. And finally, our rising star of the week goes to none other than Riley Ward of the track and field team. The sophomore javelin ace throws 41.33 meters, making it the 2nd best javelin throw in program history. And coming up this week in Marquette Athletics, we have a light schedule ahead of us. On Thursday night, the men's lacrosse team travels to Denver to face Georgetown in the Big East semifinals.
The winner of that game competes in the Big East Championship on Saturday night. And now to end the week for Marquette Athletics, the track team heads to Madison to compete in the Badger Invitational.
Coming up, who won the NFL draft?
Plus, why did Shedeur fall so hard? Find out after the break.
Stem is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to load their minds. Dare to explore. Dare to STEM. Learn more at She Can STEM.
Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
Leah, did you put a new dent in that?
This one? No.
Were you texting and driving again?
Yes.
Hi, Leah.
Hi, Dad.
Sorry about your bumper.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
And welcome back to Studio 7 as we discuss everything in professional sports. Joining me on the panel tonight is Adrian Fraga and Zach Pomainville. Let's get right to it. Now, the NFL draft officially wrapped up last Saturday, and every team has some great picks. But what everyone wants to know is who had the best draft? Adrian, we'll start with you.
It pains me. It really does pain me to say, but I really think that the Patriots had the best draft class. I mean, you look at a draft class that just addresses, I mean, the Patriots are a team that, don't get me wrong, have a lot of needs. But I think they basically hit home runs every pick they had. Starting off with, obviously, Will Campbell. I mean, you go out, get your left tackle, protect Drake May. I mean, the Patriots O-line, I don't think it's debate, probably had the worst O-line in football last year. Probably going into the season, have the worst O-line in football. Now you add a guy like Will Campbell who's just going to sure up that offensive line and really protect Drake May. Not only that, they also get him help in the form of weapons. They get him Henderson out of Ohio State, obviously my RB3 in the class. He doesn't quite compare to a Genti, doesn't quite compare to obviously a Marion Hampton, but this is a guy that is a very good pass catcher out of the backfield, probably the best in the class. And not only that, they get Kyle Williams. They just keep getting help for Drake May, which is all that matters.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like the Patriots pick. I think that their offseason was definitely like kind of leading into this, so it makes a lot of sense why they did so well in this draft, because they just, they got a bunch of players this offseason and then put in where the holes are at the draft. I'm going to have to go with the Panthers, though. I think the Panthers had a phenomenal draft. You just get Ted McMillan, the best receiver in the draft, straight to Bryce Young. Okay, it's a little debated, but I think he's still probably number one on most people's boards. And then, in the second and third round, you get two SEC pass rushers after that. They pretty much just went all defense, just addressing their defense, but they got that top player in Ted McMillan to be a wide receiver for.
Okay, but you say that obviously. I think the Panthers' biggest issue is the fact that they don't necessarily, that defense is non-existent, basically. So even though Ted McMillan, I think, is a really good fit, you get Bryce Young his help. You really think that they could say that they have a great draft, even though, they did address the defense, but I think they addressed it just simply too late. I mean, you had players on the board like Jalen Walker, Mikael Williams. I mean, all these guys that could have made instant impact roles on that defense. And, I mean, yes, you get Ted McMillan. They drafted Xavier Legette in the first round last year, though. You're really saying that they could really rely on Ted McMillan to be that number one for Bryce?
McMillan is definitely a different player than Xavier Legette.
I mean, 1,000%. 1,000%. I'm not going to deny that.
Like, that's the thing. And, it's not saying they weren't too late in addressing their defense. Second and third round picks were defensive ends. They have needs all over the defensive end. It's kind of picking straws, I feel like. And getting him a weapon is what they need to do, first of all.
To say that they had a better class than the Patriots, I think, is honestly just laughable. Like, the Patriots hit it from rounds 1 through 5.
Who's their wide receiver? Stephon Diggs is their one guy.
I just said Kyle Williams. That's on tape. That is on tape. I said Kyle Williams. That guy's going to be a dog. Mark my words.
Well, guys, I'm a little disappointed that you didn't mention the Seahawks, but that is neither here nor there. I really do like the QB that they drafted in Jalen Milroe, though I would have taken Shedeur Sanders earlier. But speaking of Shedeur, he was the most shocking draft story of the fall. Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders, once projected a top 3 pick, falls 5th. falls to the 5th round. Was this fall warranted, or is the Colorado product set to be a steal? Zach, we'll start with you.
I think he's definitely a steal. He was not. This was not a football question. You can understand why he might fall out of the first round if it's just primarily about football, but it's clearly about how he conducted himself. How his kind of. I mean, I don't really blame him so much because he was following all of his dad's advice, and his dad was a bona fide top 5 pick. And was a superstar coming out of college. Shedeur is that, but he acted like he was at a big SEC school, just like him.
I'm sorry. Did you just say that Shedeur is the caliber of prospect?
No, I'm not saying
that's
that.
what you said.
I'm saying
you said that he was a superstar off the gate. That's exactly what you said.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that he conducted himself like he was because his dad told him he was. His dad told him he was, and so he was bombing interviews and not caring about what people thought of him because he thought he was going to be a top 10 pick no matter what.
I mean, okay, I'll give you that. Shedeur Sanders, you talk about a guy who, okay, he's not quarterback 1.
No.
That goes to Cam Ward, obviously. But you look at a guy that he's definitely not quarterback 6. I can tell you that much. I mean, there's absolutely zero reason that you should have quarterbacks like Tyler Shuck. Honestly, I think the hate is a little overhated. He went a little early, but definitely should not have been ahead of Shedeur. But Tyler Shuck is all right. Jalen Milroe should not have gone ahead of Shedeur Sanders. Dylan Gabriel certainly should not have gone ahead of Shedeur Sanders.
That was my greatest surprise of the draft.
Is Shedeur Sanders a top 10 talent, though?
No.
Really?
Shedeur Sanders is barely a round 1 talent. I think he's more or less a second-round talent. I mean, this isn't a very strong quarterback class. I mean, even then, you could hate the Jackson Dart pick all you want. Jackson Dart has NFL tangibles. He has the stuff that's uncoachable. He has the arm. He has the leadership qualities, but Jackson Dart still probably shouldn't have been a first-round pick. This just isn't a very good quarterback class. I mean, Cam Ward arguably probably should not have gone first overall. I mean, you look at a guy like Travis Hunter, that a generational talent, and that word gets thrown around a lot, but this guy is
athlete.
Truly generational. Truly generational. I mean, Abdul Carter is also, I think, a better prospect than Cam Ward. So to say Shedeur Sanders should have been a top 10 pick is, I think, honestly laughable. The only reason he should have been considered even remotely close to a top 10 pick is just because some teams are quarterback needy. That's really it.
Yeah, I mean, there was so many teams who needed a quarterback, and it's kind of strange that he fell to the 5th round with all that we knew about how many teams needed a quarterback.
Ridiculous. But you're looking at a guy who isn't necessarily the most athletic, doesn't have the greatest arm. His best trait is his accuracy, and that's just about it.
Well, Shedeur, I'm rooting for you. I know a lot of this is all propaganda-based, but we won't get into that. But what we will get into is the NBA playoffs. Now, 2 teams have been swept, and 4 teams are currently up 3-1. Which team has been the most convincing team to make a deep postseason run?
I got to go with the Warriors. The Warriors were a team that came in from the play-in.
I like it.
That weren't initially in the playoff picture. But you add a guy like Jimmy Butler, obviously Marquette guy, dog. But Jimmy Butler is just a basketball player. In all seriousness, what he brings to a team from a locker room standpoint, when he's not being a locker room cancer, and when he's actually happy with a team, that is. But when you get a guy like Jimmy Butler that's all in on a team with players like Draymond Green, of course, Steph Curry, excuse me, wow, I can no longer.
Buddy Hield.
Buddy Hield for some reason. That's who we're going with. But anyways, you get him on a team like that, they're going to produce. And Jimmy Butler, this is the first time in his career that he has to play now second fiddle to a guy like Steph Curry. And he said it himself, he's now Robin, and Robin's a damn good sidekick.
Now, Zach, before we get to you, Adrian, I'd like to ask you this question. You mentioned that the Warriors they came out of the play-in, but is this a actual play-in team? I know the West is super stacked, and there were games where it was one loss could lead you down to the 8th seed or the 9th seed. Is this a true indication of who the Warriors were?
That's a very good point, but either way, even with how stacked the West was, I mean, the Warriors are still a really good basketball team. So either way, with how stacked the West is, they're still towards the bottom of that team. And unfortunately, they started off the season slow, so that played a role.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Zach?
I mean, definitely they started the season slow, and then they got Jimmy, and then it all heated up. They were the best defensive team when they got Jimmy. They've been like that this whole playoffs. There's no doubt Jimmy Butler has had an instant, insane impact on this team. You know, they probably they lost one game and fell out and went into the play-in. That was pretty much where they fell. My biggest player is probably the T-Wolves just because of how they're obliterating the Lakers right now.
Now, shout out to my Clippers. We're playing tonight, and we're going to win this in 7. But unfortunately, that is all the time that we have. Thank you for the great discussion. Unfortunately, we are out of time. From all of us at Golden Eagle Sports Report, thank you for a fantastic year, my final year. Once again, for Zach Pomainville, Adrian Fraga, I'm London Davis. Good night, Marquette.
Live from the Jeannie Hayes